How's everyone doing today? We are out here in Ankeny, Iowa, about to start on a nice little one-day stream, redo, reno, all that. Here are the bones that we've got to work with. Basin obviously is down in here. So what we'll be doing is we'll be taking out this boulder wall here. We'll be dismantling the stream, putting in all new fabric, liner, potentially running a new plumbing line. We'll have to investigate the current one and see how that goes. Probably, it looks like it's going to have a good elevation change. No real good spots to have any dips. But yeah, we might even reuse the spillway box up there. But yeah, essentially we're going to tear this out, probably put in 2 to 3 waterfalls, give it a little more shape than this. After that, we'll be redoing the landscape bed, just putting in a couple plants, remulching, all that. Obviously, we'll have to rebuild this wall here. We'll probably make it a little more vertical and give it a little more curve. But that's our plan for today. Follow along, see how it goes. Okay, so one of the reasons why they wanted us to come in and redo their feature is because you can kind of see up here, it looks like the spillway box was leaking at the bulkhead back there. And as we were deconstructing, we found a couple other low spots in the liner. Kind of hard to tell without the rocks here, but there was a couple spots where you could definitely tell that water was leaking over the edge. So that's why we're going to bring in that new liner. We'll replace it. We'll make sure everything's high enough that no water will escape this system. All right, so one thing that we discovered while we were demoing this was right there is the pump vault. That's that little peephole that you can use, check water level, all that. That is smack dab in the middle of the basin. So the previous waterfall was right here, and the shoulder rock on it was partially on the vault lid, and so was a pretty big rock in the retaining wall was on the vault lid. So if they ever needed to inspect their pump, replace it, troubleshoot it, anything like that, they were going to have to deconstruct the entire bottom waterfall and at least a quarter of this retaining wall. So I'm glad we found this and that we're doing this redo, because we're able to dig back further. That's what I've been doing here. See, we dug back. That way we can set the waterfall in here. We're going to dig it down so that it's at the same level as that vault. So that way, if we build on top of that gravel, anytime you have to dig down to open up the vault, it might shift those rocks because the gravel is going to want to fall in. So that's what we're working on right now. The second reason that they wanted to do this tear out redo was they actually saw one of our display features and they really liked the build style and the way that we do things. It's all the different build styles, it's to each their own. They used to have those kind of flat sheet waterfalls, which there's nothing wrong with those. We just like to do a much more natural build style. We can accomplish a pretty similar look to that flag while making it look a lot more established and natural. And so that's kind of one of the things that we do, is we dig out this kind of semicircle shape here. See that? So that way we can put the waterfall rock in there, and the two shoulders that go up against it, they're forced to be in front of it, which makes that waterfall rock look like it's really locked in place there and like it naturally fell there. So that's why we do these kind of half circle dig outs for our waterfalls. Okay, so since we dug this out further back, we're not going to be able to do the normal flop that we would do. which is where we take the basin liner and we bring it up this wall behind the waterfall, and then we take the streamliner and we put that in over top of that and tuck it back in. That way they overlap well enough that no water's ever gonna seep out that way. But yeah, this is the lowest point in the basin liner, so we're going to have to seam these two together. That way, if this basin ever overflows for whatever reason, say, you know, heavy rainfall, something like that, water's not going to be escaping and going underneath the stream where it can then cause our boulders to settle in weird, funky ways. So what we did here, we got the two pieces of liner all cleaned up, just waiting for it to dry. Then we'll slap some seam primer, that's the word. We'll slap some primer down, and then we'll get that seam put together, essentially making these two different pieces of liner into one. Okay, so seam is done. Got it real nice in here. Next is to start rocking. Should be pretty easy. This is the fun part. All right, the basin is pretty much completely finished. I'm up here setting in the spillway box at the moment. Once again, if you've seen any of our videos before, we like to dig it down, make sure it's nice and pretty much level, so that way we can get gravel on top of this, rock work, all that, and you'll never have to see this ever again. Sid's about to start digging in the plumbing line. So then we'll get that hooked up, then we'll be able to start running water, and then we can do our cut and tuck, finish off this boulder wall, and fix this. Okay, we are all finished up out here in Ankeny on this Pondless renovation. Turned out pretty fantastic. Homeowners love it. I love it. Sid loves it. It's just a pretty good feature. I'll swing you around here, show you what we're working with. Got the landscaping done. Got the edgers put in. Mulch is in. The patio furniture is all put back, so you can come out here as soon as they want and enjoy their new backyard paradise.